Greetings, I'm Duuz-Diz-Din coming at you with another Rwby episode review. This time it's season 6, episode 10, titled Stealing from the Elderly. What a title. This continues on at the Atlas base as we see that Weiss is posing as if she has decided to return back to Atlas to once again attend school there and continue her life in the illustrious Atlas kingdom. However, we soon have Saffron's child make this big commotion to kind of distract all the guards from examining Weiss's luggage, which actually contains Maria Calavera. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is on standby along the coast, awaiting Weiss and Maria to obtain the ship, bring it around so they can all travel to Atlas together. Meanwhile, Blake and Yang are on their way to a relay tower to shut it down using information from Terracotta. Using this, they will be able to fly back undetected, pick the others up, and make their way out. Blake specifically goes in alone just because, stealth missions are her thing. She's a ninja and all that good stuff. So, of course. However, Crow is still very unhappy with the whole situation. Just pretty much waiting for things to go wrong. However, Oscar still tries to be the optimist, telling him, Rwby, your plan is gonna work, we'll get through this, we've gotten this far, all that good stuff. Oscar, such a bright little glimmer of hope in the group. Using the fact that they're out of signal range of the tower as a way of timing their ambush, Weiss uses this to go in and toss out the pilots. Maria then takes over as piloting and uses an interface in order to help her, be able to navigate with the ship and all that good stuff, which is very interesting, all things considered. However, Rwby notices that she's unable to get in contact with Blake, and Yang's just not sure what's going on, so she heads over. Unfortunately, Weiss and Maria have already been picked up by Cordova and her men, and they get in contact with them. Maria tries to use some, Atlas military jargon in order to throw them off, but in a very interesting moment, they're just like, you do realize we don't have any old women as pilots, right? Which Maria hadn't even considered that. Cordova kind of loses her shit here and demands that Maria bring it around, but Maria does nothing but antagonize Cordova throughout this. Weiss relays this to Rwby, who asks what happened with the relay tower. Ruby's not really sure and tells her that Yang is on her way, but Crow kind of blames himself for this whole situation, with his semblance being one he can't really control, which is very unfortunate. It's just like, you think that after all this time he would be able to find some good use for it. Maybe bringing it into kind of like with characters like Domino or a Long Shot from Marvel, who are able to manipulate their luck to suit their needs. But for him, it just seems to be something that always brings misfortune, and he blames it for the recent problems that they're having, and just bringing the kids into this whole situation in general, just saying, you kids wouldn't even be in this situation because of me, blah blah blah. He just very self-deprecating throughout this. But Rwby stands up to him and says to him, you didn't bring us into this situation. We would have been in this situation with or without you. So cut that, self-blaming crap out. And, Crow's a little bit taken aback because, he's always been a mentor and a, elder figure to Rwby, but now she's kind of giving him the business. And she's just like, well, I've had a great teacher, so a nice little bonding moment, but it feels like we keep getting this same moment repeated a little bit. But, I'm to a certain degree, I'm getting tired of seeing Crow just be so down on himself because he's such a fun character. I need him to get his mojo back, but at the same time, it's an interesting angle. It really shows just how much he believed in the whole situation with Ozpin that, finding out so much of it was just not really real, I guess you could say. It really did a number on him, and he's just still reeling from all of this. He feels like he's just so deep in the hole that it's hard for him to climb out, even with, words of reaffirmation being given to him time and time again. So hopefully he gets his act together at some point. Man, I hope it doesn't come at the cost of his life, though, because, But Cordova actually unleashes this giant robot of all things from within the mountain in order to kind of show off the might of Atlas, the Atlas military. Mostly because she feels that not enough people are respecting her authority. With what the kids have pulled, it's kind of like they are mocking her outright. So she's using this as a moment of revenge, and she actually fires upon Weiss and Maria. However, this is more of a kind of disabling blast. It's low energy warning shot, but it looked brutal. But they're fine for the most part. They're just being chased down by Maria. Rwby tells Weiss to come down and help them do their best to disable the bot, not really knowing what's going on with Blake, who we find out is scared for her life because of all people, Adam has shown up. And as they start to fight and just go at it, which I get a little worried here because we know what Adam is capable of. He's a very unfortunately capable warrior, and he can be very intense. So we'll just have to see what happens here. But he's started blaming Blake for everything that's happened to him, and that ever since she came into his life, he's caused nothing but pain and problems, basically blaming him for everything. Although one thing I have to note now is the fact that he has this mask on, but there's no slits for his eyes. So it's got me wondering, it's like, is he blind? Has he always been blind or something? Looking like freaking Daredevil over here, but I'm just questioning, like, how is he seeing? Like, I feel like there's some story here that I'm not getting. But, Blake basically tells him off, saying just like, you didn't have to be here. I ran away from you. I was trying to escape from you. You didn't have to follow me. I moved on with my life, and you should have too. But Adam doesn't really appreciate hearing that. It's just, he states that, what? That's it? You just moved on? You just forgot about everything that happened with it? This just enrages him even further. So now we're going to have a showdown with Blake and Adam. And the skills that Adam has shown off time and time again are really intense. He hasn't been as capable in the recent season. I don't know if this is where his story's going to end up coming to an end. We'll just have to wait and see. But it's very interesting that this is where they ended up encountering him. Just a big wrench in the works. But But hey, that's the end of the episode. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you think the showdown between the team and Cordova's giant friggin' mech is gonna go down, of all things? We're nearing the end of the season, I believe. I think we have a few more episodes, so I wonder how the rest of this is gonna play out. And what did you think about Crow's, continued existential crisis? He just keeps blaming himself for various situations. Do you think he's going to get over it and move past it, or do you think he's going to continue to wallow in all of this? And, is Cinder going to show up next? Is something even worse going to happen this time around? Because, Cinder's been on their trail, Adam is here, and whenever they show up, people tend to die. So it's about to get really harrowing. And what do you think about the showdown between Blake and Adam? Is Yang gonna show up just in time to possibly get some revenge? Or, is he gonna end up taking yet another limb from one of them? But, if you like this review, leave me a like. And if you didn't, feel free to leave me a dislike and tell me what I did wrong in the comment section below so that I might better myself for future videos. But until then, please subscribe for more episode reviews of Rwby, because it's just heating up more and more as time goes on. Bye-bye.